Hello everyone, it is Erin Floto here, and I am here for my mid-year setup. So this is for the second notebook that I will be in for 2024. My first notebook was January through June, so that will finish up in June, and then this notebook is going to be from July to the end of 2024. I've done the same thing that I did for the previous notebook, where I'm using the rainbow style washi tapes for the beginning year setup, and then each month is a different color of washi tape. I am trying to use up a bunch of my washi tapes because I don't use them, which is kind of a problem, and I have a ton of them. So that was the goal of 2024, is to deal with that. I am setting up this spread a little bit early, mostly because there's just a lot going on in our household right now. So if you didn't see on Instagram already, I am pregnant. We are expecting our first child together, our first child each. So we're very nervous, but very excited. I will have a separate video kind of talking about all of that, because we had a journey to get to this point. And at the time of doing this, I am 14 weeks. So we're very, very excited. But we also have another medical situation going on. My husband is having surgery in June, and it's just a lot right now. So I wanted to get this done as soon as possible, so that way I can concentrate on things going on with my family. I unfortunately rubbed off on my husband. If you haven't been around before, I have had 8 knee surgeries, and now my husband has to have his first knee surgery. He tore his meniscus, and he's a personal trainer, so it's kind of important that, that he's able to move around. So he is going to be having surgery at the beginning of June, and with the type of tear it is probably going to take like a 6-week recovery, if they're able to repair it correctly. So that is why this is coming out now. I really needed to get my head wrapped around the beginning of the year setup, and I had a little bit of time, but it is also my husband's right knee, so he can't drive by himself. He's no weight bearing for 4 weeks, and then I think he's still on crutches, but in a brace for the 2 weeks following that. And then he has to do all sorts of physical therapy. So it's going to be a journey. So this is my initial setup. I am not sure how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I have been doing just like the washi tape across. That has been really nice, but I'm not sure how I feel about the cover page at this moment in time for the mid-year. Now I am doing my future log. So instead of just doing a 6-month future log, I decided to go ahead and add in the first 6 months of 2025. That way, if I need to write something down, I can write something down for something that is happening later on. Usually I just put it into my like digital calendar on my phone. Although I am trying to figure out what to do with that, because I can't share, like, you can't have a shared calendar with like in your Apple calendar or something. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out like a shared family calendar that my husband can see, because then he doesn't have to ask, oh, do we have anything going on X date? He can just look for himself. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but that is going to be my future log. Moving on, we have the medical reference page and my body stats. So if you haven't been around, I am using all of these headers as cutouts from Cricut. So I cut the words on sticker paper, and then I do an offset for that for the black outline, and I cut that with using different types of scrap papers and different types of other types of papers. So on the left-hand side, we have medical, and I'm only doing that for 6 months. So this is all of our medical appointments between the entire family. So you can see I did have to add one this year because our child will be born at the end of the year and will, of course, have different medical appointments as well. And then I have my body stats to the right-hand side. And how I use my medical is I do a color code. So you can see in a little bit that each person has its own color code. That way I can put that color on the left-hand side, and then I just fill in the details on the right-hand side of what type of appointment it is. I haven't filled in our bundle of joys name yet, just because we're very certain, but I've always told everyone the caveat. We have picked out a name. I have told everyone the caveat that if I meet someone with that name that is a jerk, then it makes me hate the name, then I will, of course, change it. We do have some backup names. And then we are pretty early. We do know the gender, but one of the issues is the NIPT test is not always incredibly accurate. So we are waiting for the anatomy scan to know for sure what the gender is before we really start, planning the nursery and things like that. So that is the medical and body stats, and I am just filling in some more washi tape because I need to get rid of washi tape, and so this is the perfect opportunity to do this in this kind of setup. Moving on, we have the home project set up. So I've been doing this quite a bit. As you know, we own our home. I bought this house in 2021, and it is a small house. I honestly didn't know that when I bought it that this amazing person was going to come into my life and we would be starting a family. And I thought that this house would be big enough for me and the dogs. And yeah, so it's growing. So we have a lot of home projects to do to try to deal with the situation and make a smaller house fit a growing family. So that is what we are planning to do. So I have broken this up to two sides. One of them into our huge projects that are currently going on. One is that we are moving my husband's gym to a garage. So we are building a garage on our property to move the gym into. And then the other is, of course, where the gym was, we are going to put in a nursery. So I do have those two projects as front and center on this page. And then other projects that come along, I'll just, kind of put down towards the bottom. That way I still have room for those, but I can focus on the two big projects that are at hand. So when I became pregnant, which we found out in March, so it's winter before that, so I did not have an opportunity to do any sort of running in the winter. So when we found out that I was pregnant, I switched my running log from my previous setup to a page for my bump photos, just so that I can remember those and see visually how the pregnancy is going. So I wanted to do the same thing here, that I included the rest of my bump photos until the end of the pregnancy. So that is that two-page spread. And I am posting that on Instagram at some point. So you'll have a good idea of what I mean by the bump photos. This last spread, I just put washi tape down because I think that this will be welcome to the world to our little one once they come along. So I think that's what that page is going to end up being. So this is my whole setup. So we have the cover page 2024 and the beginning of 2025. We have the medical reference page for all of our appointments, body stats, and then our home projects, the garage and the nursery being the main projects that are going to be done this year. Places where I can put the bump photos, and you can see that nice sparkle. And then, of course, the Welcome to the World page. I do have an extra page just in case, but that is my entire setup. If you like this video, please leave a rainbow emoji down in the bottom and let me know if you are moving into a new notebook for your mid-year. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.